let's talk about code switching. Code switching involves the act of changing one's dialect, accent, or language to fit the audience they're speaking to. Some examples of code switching can include a multilingual speaker switching between English and Spanish in certain settings, or maybe alternating their local accent to fit the environment that they're in. Now, I'm not super educated on the topic of code switching, but it did have me thinking. I grew up with what is known as Boricua Spanish, or a specific dialect of Spanish spoken by Puerto Ricans on the island and also those of us that come from Puerto Rican descent. I studied Spanish formally at school. So in my classes, I would speak a very neutral Spanish so that my professors would understand me and I could be more enunciated. Here's an example. ¿Qué estás cocinando? Yo tengo mucha hambre. ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Tienes sueño? Estoy cansada. When I would come home to speak with my grandma or mother, I would completely change my accent to fit the way that I grew up. ¿Qué tú estás cocinando? ¿Tú tienes sueño? ¿Tú te ves cansada? It's also important to state that the Spanish I grew up with was heavily influenced by my grandmother who grew up in rural Puerto Rico, where the dialect is a bit different from the rest of the island. For example, the word arroz would be pronounced as ajo. So instead of saying, ¿Tú quieres arroz?, she would say, ¿Tú quieres ajo? You've also probably noticed that the Boricua Spanish is spoken very fast and S's aren't always enunciated. Me gustaría ir al parque. Me gustaría ir al parque. Let me know if this is something you find interesting.